again. We good? See. See if we are good. Okay, we are live, it looks like. Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, so welcome to the stream, folks. Anyone who is watching, you can stay as long as you like. The idea for this stream is to paint something for my lovely aunt, who was a godsend to me the last few weeks and last couple months as I was in the process of getting married. So with that being said, I am going to start. It's an oil base. I have a slew of brushes, as you can see. I don't know how many of these I'm going to actually use. And I probably will not get all of this done, but I am going to do as much as I can. So everything looks as good as possible. And that is still stuck in there, and I don't know how to get that out. There we go. Let's get rid of these. So pretend for a moment, if you'll indulge me, that I am a surrogate to great legendary Bob Ross, even though I definitely am not. But I do like to enjoy myself, as most people should, when they are unwinding on a long day. I got some things done. So I'm going to, actually, I'm going to set this one aside because I still have my not so good brushes like that I will use. We'll use this one to put the gesso on. And oh boy, the gesso is not here, so I have to go and grab that real quick. You should still be able to hear me because I have the earbuds. Black canvases. So I'm going to use this to make it black. And then after that, I will, oh crap, I need to grab my little easel or painting. Yeah, painting. This thing. I'm going to put some paint on this. So first, I am going to gesso this up because we need to make this black. Well, we don't need to, but I want to. So I don't think I need a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead. Should be more than enough. I'm just going to cover this bad boy completely. I might need a little bit more actually. This is sucking it up pretty well. But ideally, you cover this up, and while it's still wet, you can kind of work around with it a bit. I don't intend to finish this today, but I intend to get at least hopefully the basic shape of it. So ideally, this will kind of be like a wet on wet approach. I think that's what they call it. I don't know how well you can hear me or hear me paint the canvas. You probably can't hear the canvas being painted on very much. I just don't think that one would make a lot of noise. But we will see. I really wanted to try to make an actual live painting video where I actually do it live. There we go. And I also want to get the sides. I really don't care if this gets dirty because my wife wants me to spray paint this black anyway because she's like, ew, this table looks nasty. And I'm like, well, I got a cheap table, you know? Something I don't mind beating up and covering in paint because this is an artist table. She didn't want me to use the regular table in the kitchen because, you know, that's for eating. Which, I mean, I get it. I get it. I was kind of bummed out about it because, you know, I like doing it in the kitchen, especially since the sink is right there. But, you know, it is what it is. So, covering this up in black. And it's a little cold today. Just saying, it's a little cold. A little bit cold. But we can manage. But covering this up so you don't really see the black, or so you don't see the white on the sides. That's kind of what I want. I don't care if I get, I really don't care if I get paint on this table because it's meant to be painted on. That's why I bought it. Bought it at a cheap thrift shop off of Cooper Foster, which if you know your area of where I'm at, it's technically free, but there's one, Cooper Foster that I went to, and I got lucky. They managed to have exactly what I was looking for, and I got it relatively cheap. So, hooray! I was a happy boy. So, almost done completely covering this up. This is the spot that Bob Ross typically does before he starts the video. That's why his videos are only a half hour long. There is an hour-long special where it actually shows the full process of him covering it with the magic white. He's actually done black canvases before, but typically almost all of them are magic white. That's just his style. That's what he wanted. He painted a lot of mountains, a lot of clouds, and a lot of trees, as he did. And it worked for him. It worked for him very well. It was good for him. Me, on the other hand, while mountains and clouds and trees are cool, I kind of want to paint a person, or at least a humanoid figure, so to speak. Okay, now we got this completely covered. This is completely black, which is what I wanted. And now I can choose my colors. So before I do anything else, I want to kind of clean this brush off a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to use just a little bit of this odorless terpenoid. I don't want a lot because I don't have a lot to work with, and I'm going to need more of it later, obviously. But just enough to kind of cover this up and shake off the excess. And there we go. Get this on there. Then I end up needing to wash this off when it's all said and done, and that kind of sucks sometimes. So this is what is it? This is gesso. I think this is technically acrylic base, but you can use this when you're painting on oil. If you're using this as a okay. Well, I know I cleaned the hell out of this before. What I'm probably going to have to do is when it's all said and done, I'll have to actually rinse this off in the sink. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put that aside and go for one of the many brushes that I have and kind of figure out what to do next. And I think what I want to do, or I think the figure in question, is draw some leaves. So I have a couple ideas in mind, and actually I kind of like this. Ooh, actually I like that style too, but I just want a close-up picture of this bad boy. So that'll work. By the way, I'm kind of using two phones right now. I'm using the crappy phone that I've had for ages, since 2018, 2019. And then I'm using my new phone. I have to use the old phone because for whatever reason, it's not letting me record in horizontal mode live. I don't know why. So this is just kind of what I'm doing. Good old G Fuel. That Castlevania one's pretty good. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab some green, a couple different green options. That is acrylic, that is not oil base. That's green. It's a light green. And of course I've never used it, so I'm going to have to open that up. I'm just going to use a little because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet. And I am going to grab a darker green, which, there we go, phthalo green. That is ideal. I like the idea of using that. I probably should put a little bit of white as well, which I'm actually unfortunately running out of because I used a lot of that when I painted my first oil-based painting. I would think I have. There's another yellow. Okay, plant green. Yes. This is what I want. This is what I want. Okay. Okay. So let's see how well this is actually going to look when I start using this. Okay, so I'm going to start with the phthalo green. Okay, and in terms of, I think what I'm going to end up doing is start from the top. Kind of work our way down. Okay, you're not going to see much of it, which is fine for now. This is why I'll use the lighter colors later too. Almost has a blue look to it. Wish I had a couple things to hold my phone with, but for the time being, I actually need to hold on to my my palette. That's what it's called. I knew I'd figure it out eventually. And I think what it's going to end up doing is you won't see a lot for now, but you'll see more of it later. That's kind of how it is with a lot of these, typically. I think that's nice about oil paintings is they blend really well. And then when you want to get more detail to it, you'll add more detail later. You know, gonna just put layers on top of layers is really how it goes. See how it goes. By the way, if you do comment, I won't be able to see anything, but I can try to look at it later. So I am in the zone, as they say, focused on trying to get this set up, if you will. And it's getting a little bit dark, unfortunately, and I have no way of lighting anything, which is unfortunate. The base shape of almost like leaves, well, tall leaves, kind of. Like I said, I'll work with it as great Bob Ross would say, there were no mistakes, only happy accidents, and just kind of, you kind of go with the flow, so to speak. It's just kind of how it goes. You can definitely feel it's getting colder. Okay. I can start seeing a little bit, but now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to add a little bit more of that lighter green. Because I think I need to. I feel it in my gut. Okay. almost like, in a way, it's gonna kind of look like a green flame, which I'm actually kind of down with it too. So that might honestly look kind of cool, but we will see. We will see how this looks. And I might end up needing more paint when it's all said and done. Again, we will see. We will see. I think that's kind of cool about oil-based painting is how the layers kind of just work with each other and it just kind of blends in, if you know what I mean. And a little bit more, honestly, what I might do is add a little bit of yellow to it as well. Yeah, I'm gonna add some yellow. Again, it's probably something I'm gonna have to open up. Yep, exactly. Didn't work on this prior. There we go. Let's add a little bit of yellow. Okay. Okay. So now that we glove on some yellow, it's gonna mix with the green anyway. It's fine. Oh yeah. Don't even really notice. Think of this as layer one before we get more into the nitty gritty of this. Most likely later date, if we're being honest here. Typically, it takes me a while to work on certain paintings. And then ideally what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up painting the figure over top. I think what I'm going to do is add some of this out. give him a little bit of a stage, so to speak. And then I should actually have some browns available, but I don't remember exactly. This is burnt sienna. I'll add that. That kind of has a look. And oh, it's getting dark. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can change this light so it's a little bit brighter. Oh, dang it. Come on. Get in there. Okay, let's go back. Go to outside. Is there a way to just... No, not tavern. I'll do outside. It's a little bit better, but my goodness. That actually helped, strangely enough. I can see it, but man. If I could turn on this other light, it'd be easier for you guys, but let's do it as this for the time being. Oh, hey. Birthday looking good, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it, Chipmunk, for always. Okay, so you can see a little bit better. So let us add a little bit of dirt, so to speak. Every layer contributes to something, so definitely remember that. Sometimes something looks like you're not doing anything, but then slowly it all comes together. So just keep that in mind, guys. So I got that. I think the next step to do is to start at least painting the shape of the figure. Now, if you're wondering what is going to be in this, does anyone know what a Kachina doll is? So my aunt has a pretty wicked looking one, and honestly got to scare the shit out of me as a kid, but it always stuck with me, and I told her that I was going to be painting this at some point. So this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to try to do is start drawing that basic shape and going from there and seeing how this will turn out. I'm going to go and grab a new brush for this. And I need a lighter color. I think yellow ochre would end up being better. I think yellow ochre is a little bit of a brighter color. I can find it. Cashew would actually work too. because what I'm going to end up needing to do is adding some texture. So let's grab cashew. There's medium yellow, deep yellow, which I can probably end up using. What do we got here? Not deep red, at least not yet. I will be using that later for the eyes. Well, son of a biscuit. I probably could use a little bit of titanium white, but I probably should salvage what I have of that for later because I'm probably going to need that later. Yeah, lemon yellow, and then, yeah, I'll grab that brown too. So what I'm going to try to do is mix a little bit of that burnt sienna, and I'm going to mix the yellows, and hopefully with that, I'm going to be able to draw the body. At least that's my hope. Wish me luck, guys. Okay. I'm going to need to put in a lot for this one, I'm thinking. I'm going to go ahead and grab that lemon yellow as well. I think I'm going to have to mix these colors together and go from there. Oh, actually, yeah, that looks like that'll work fine. It'll be kind of like a tan. This may actually turn out to be what I needed. Okay, so ideally what I'm gonna need to do, start drawing that shape and work my way down. I'm gonna grab this for reference. So where's the head gonna be? I'm thinking probably right here. Hoping. You have your arms. And we have the body. Ooh, this is going to be difficult. Just grab that. So we need to fill this in, so to speak. Okay. It's got a little bit of a weird thing going on here. So he's got like it's getting pretty dark. Yeah, it's getting pretty dark. I'm kind of thinking what I might need to do. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to do something slightly risky, but I think this is going to give me a little bit more time to work with out here. Because the problem is, I'm not seeing a lot of white. And doing it like this, I should end up getting a lot more out of it. Oh yeah, that's far better actually. Okay. Now that I got that, let's go back to what I was doing. Imagine painting a shadow. It's kind of what I'm doing in a way. Ideally, I'm just getting the shape down. And what I might end up needing to do is getting more paint for the next time I do this, which might not be today, or might not be today. Today is what I'm working on right now. Might not be tomorrow. It might be later, which, you know, unfortunately, that might be the case. Okay. God. Wish I had just something to mark that down. Okay. So we got that. Got that. And got that. Because it's almost like, in a way, it's almost a straight line. I essentially, the last time I did an oil painting, it was the Red Butcher, and I did the same exact thing with him as I'm doing with this one. So trust the process. I know it sometimes seems weird. Well, all I can say is trust the process. Because essentially what I'm kind of doing, I don't know how well you can see it, I'm drawing a, I mean, you can kind of see some stuff going on, but damn, I really wish I had a light. I just don't really have one. It's unfortunate. If I had an extension cord that was a USB port, you know, thing, I'd be able to get a little bit more out of that. But unfortunately, I do not. So this unfortunately will have to do for the time being. Basically, as I mentioned, I am painting a shadow. I just got paint all over that. Actually, nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Okay. I should honestly at least get those ears shaped. And then I got one say over here, I think. Okay. Well, that might unfortunately be all I have to work with at the moment, because There's not a lot of light going on. I can actually, for the most part, see what I'm doing. The problem is, I don't think you guys can really see anything. And this will definitely look a lot better. Like you'll see more if I just had more light to work with. But luckily, with oil-based paintings, the thing that's kind of cool about them is that you kind of can work with them for a while, like a good while, actually. Kind of what we're working with here. Okay. And okay. That might be all I can do right now for the moment. That might be all I can do for the moment. Because it is just getting way too dark. Unfortunately for you guys to really see anything, and I have no way of connecting this stupid light. But that's kind of what I'm doing for part one for this. I'm going to try to use up a little bit of paint I have left on this just so I can utilize as much as possible before we call it an evening. And what I need to do is I need to grab a whole slew of white paint. I think what I'll end up doing is painting a good bit of white over this shape so I have more of the shape to work with. But yeah, so far I think that's all right. With that said, let me just take a step out of the light, see if you guys can see what it looks like for now. Granted, like I said, you're not seeing much of it, but hopefully you will later. That makes sense. As I always say, trust the process. Okay, now that that's lifted up, I'm going to take a view of this and kind of lift this up so you can actually see this. So as you can see, there is a basic shaping form. Like I kind of mentioned before, at the moment, I'm painting shadows. And when we go with the next layer, it should start looking a little bit more. Oh yeah, unfortunately it got a little too dark for, honestly, too dark for you guys. But like I said, it's just like so freaking busy. Had to switch out the router. Routers do wear out from time to time. Other than that, I'm going to leave this for now, and we will get back to it some other time. But at least the whole canvas is coated. And then I'm starting to build a little bit of shape. I'll work on more of this tomorrow. The thing with oil based, you can go back to it. It sometimes will take upwards of around 6 months to fully cure anyway. Hopefully we'll have this finished up in the span of I would say hopefully a couple weeks. I'm gonna definitely try to work on this more next week. I'm off 2 days. I don't think I have anything that I have to do, but I'm most likely gonna have to, at the very least, I definitely need a lot more white. Because I think to really get the shape going for him, I'm gonna have to add white to it. So just to build the shape, and then from there I can build the textures. So with that said, if you like what you saw, let me know, and keep. Let's keep it. I'll keep you posted on more updates on this. And like I said, this was my first attempt on trying to get this to do this actually live, and unfortunately, I had to use my cheap ass old phone. Which, where is it at right now? It's at 3%. So I'm probably only going to be able to do like 50 minutes anyway. So I better turn this off before this phone dies. So anyway, take care, guys, and hope to see you next time. Anyway, ta-ta for now.